That's God willing. I'm trying to change the world. Gotta teach the children. I ain't never letting up. I gotta stack a billion. Stay away from the fake like they reptilian. Hill game on the rise, know we all killing. I got blood in my eyes and I can't see.
So Tobirama will marry a Namikaze. And this one, the Namikaze are a clan for speed. Yeah, for speed. It's basically, yeah. So they have this ability, you could say. They can perceive people's movements better, and they can adapt to people's speeds faster than a normal ninja. And so yeah, and so Tobirama married one of them, and that was Minato. And so then Tobirama died, and Minato lived with his mother this time, and has gotten stories told about his father Tobirama. And he had to change his name to Namikaze for people that didn't like Tobirama, for instance. And so, yeah. And so now Minato becomes the Yellow Flash and marries Kushina. And so Minato's mom is a grandma to Naruto. And she wasn't, I'm going to say that she wasn't there because it was top secret. Only like the wife and husband can go there. And so Naruto gets born. And so Naruto is born with yellow hair, but he has a more serious attitude. He's more smart and confident, you could say. And more of a, genius, because Tobirama is one. And Minato was one. And Minato did a lot of great things as his time as being Hokage. And Danzo respected Minato because of his sensei's son. And so he also knows about Naruto, and so he respected Naruto. And Danzo had no problem with them at all and would do anything for Naruto. He even has his root watches over Naruto. And so then one day when the police Uchiha tried to attack Naruto for it being his fault that they get shunned for the Nine Tails attack. It's really the root stops them, and so then Danzo hears about this and is enraged that the Uchiha would try to hurt his sensei's grandson, and so then Danzo gets even more angry at Uchiha, so then he offers Naruto, some books and training for, like, techniques and stuff. And so then, and Naruto's name is Naruto Uzumaki in this one, and so then, Naruto starts training with all these, and he's getting them fast, and so he asks for more. And so Danzo gave him like 100 books worth of chakra control and says, if you can get that in a year, I'll give you more. And so then Naruto gets it in a month. And Danzo's like, how did you do that? And Naruto says, I guess I'm a photographic memory kind of person. And Naruto said, and Danzo said, that's amazing. And so then Danzo said, okay, I'm going to give you a few jutsu that'll help your training out a lot. He says, I'll give you Shadow Clone Jutsu. And, yeah. And so then Danzo gives him it, and Naruto gets it down in a week. And this is Naruto at 4 years old, having the Shadow Clone Jutsu already. And Danzo's like, this is amazing. And so he gives him the body replacement and other stuff. And so Naruto gets that, and now he's 5. And so then Danzo says, okay, I gotta tell Hiruzen about this. Because Danzo is more chill with the leaf, and he's more open-minded due to Minato. Because Minato made the academy more stricter. He made training more better and stuff. And so not any civilians would just pass, you know? And so, now Naruto made Naruto gets some scrolls from Hiruzen, and then he gets a chakra affinity paper from Danzo, and Danzo says, "Put your chakra into this," and Naruto puts his chakra into it, and he says, "You have more of an affinity than my sensei," and Naruto says, "Oh, what do I have?" And he says, "You have a high water affinity, a high wind affinity, and a high lightning affinity." Naruto, this is amazing. And he said, in your sub element is fire. And Naruto says, "Oh, that's cool." And then Danzo shakes his head at his innocence. And so Danzo said, "Hiruzen, we need to have somebody train him." And then Hiruzen nods, saying, "This is amazing." And so then Hiruzen says, "Well, who do you want to train him?" And Danzo says, "How about Kakashi Hatake? He'll be more than happy. And how about you let him live with his grandma? It'll be easier for Kakashi." And so Hiruzen nods, saying, "Yeah, it's about time for him to learn his family." And so Danzo nods at Hiruzen, and then Hiruzen asks, "Who else do you want?" He says, "I also want Itachi Uchiha and Shisui." And Hiruzen asks, "Why do you want the two Uchiha?" And Danzo says, they can help him with his Namikaze ability, and Kakashi can help him with his water affinity. That could surpass Sensei's." And Hiruzen asks, "Like, are you sure?" And he says, "Yes." And so now I will I will train them. And so then Naruto gets training from them. And so right off the bat, they're amazed at Naruto's like strength and stuff. And so then they actually reason, "Can we teach him some B rank to A rank jutsu?" And Hiruzen says, "Of course." And Itachi told Hiruzen a year later that Naruto used a water dragon jutsu, and we weren't even near a water source. How was he able to do that? And then Hiruzen says, "So Itachi, I'm gonna give you a SS class secret that only me and Danzo know." And then Itachi gets serious and says, "What is it?" And he says, "Naruto is the grandson of the second Hokage." And then Itachi widens his eyes, saying, "Then that means he is the Yandame's son?" And then Hiruzen nods, saying, "Yes, Itachi. That's why this boy needs to get trained by 3 of the strongest people here." And so Itachi nods at Hiruzen, saying, "Yes, I shall train him to my best ability." And so then Itachi leaves, and so then they train Naruto harder. And this is Naruto at 6, and so then they train for 2 years. Then Naruto is 8. And so Naruto is about high tuning level to low jonin. And so Itachi and them say, good job on your training, Naruto. You have done a lot. And you have made you stronger." And then Itachi says, "Naruto, you're stronger than my little brother already. Good job." And so Naruto says, "Oh, thank you, Itachi." And Itachi said, "Just look out for him. Do me a favor. You don't have to like him. Just make sure he doesn't get too arrogant. That is the downfall of most Uchiha. He'll probably think that he's an Uchiha elite and stuff. But please, tell him and make him go on the right path. And so Naruto nods, of course, Sensei. And then the Chunin massacre happens. And so, no, and so then Naruto is at the academy. And Naruto doesn't really bother anybody. He's just there. Sometimes he even sends shadow clones. And he's gonna play the dumb role to get on Sasuke's team, so because the council is out for him. And he and then one day he's just running through the forest of death. Then he steps on this wooden plate, you could say. Then he falls right down this thing, and then it's the Senju base. Yes. So, Tobirama made a Senju base. Minato has been there, and Kushina, and Tobirama's wife. And so, Naruto gets sees everything. And so then he takes Minato's flying Rajin scroll and tons of water jutsu. And so, time skip about 4 years from now. And so, Naruto is about high Jonin level. High Jonin. But he just doesn't have the experience, you could say. And so he easily passes the academy test. And so then he goes to talk to Hiruzen about his heritage. And then he says, hey Hiruzen. And Hiruzen says, yes, Naruto. And Naruto says, am I the son of the Yondaemon, the grandson of the second Hokage? And Hiruzen knocks out every Anbu in that area, and then does a jutsu that takes their mind back 1 hour. And so then he tells him to leave, and he tells Naruto, how'd you know that? And so then Naruto says, oh, I fell into this base walking through the forest of death, and told me of my legacy. And he said, and I'm the Naito Shincharuki, it says. And so is that why everybody hates me? And Hiruzen gets sad and says, yes, Naruto. But he says, but Danzo has been looking out for you. And Naruto says, yeah, I know he is. But why is he? That's the question. Why is Danzo doing this for me? And Hiruzen says, me and Danzo were students of your grandfather. And so we really care about you, Naruto. And Naruto smiles at Hiruzen saying, thank you. And he said, oh, and I won't tell anybody. And Hiruzen says, yes, that'll be good. And so Hiruzen thinks, I'm getting too old for this. Maybe I'll have Kakashi train them and then take my spot. But he thinks Kakashi was close on being S rank. But maybe if I tell him to resume his training again, he'll get better. And so he calls in Kakashi and tells him, I want you to become my successor in 6 months. And Kakashi says, of course, third Hokage. And he asks, why so urgent? And he just says, I'm getting too old. I might die soon. Like 5 years to 10 years, tops. And Kakashi nods at Hiruzen. And so then Kakashi asks, so who do you want me to train? And he says, you're going to train Naruto, Sasuke, and, Sakura from Team 7. But I need to tell you a S-class secret that Naruto knows, but he promised not to tell anybody. And so Kakashi asks, what is it? I know he's Sensei's son, but what else? And he says, Naruto's the grandson of the second Hokage. And Kakashi widens his eyes, saying, Sensei was the son of the second Hokage? And Hiruzen nods, saying yes, he was. And so Naruto, and so then Kakashi asks, so what does that have to do with training? And he says, Naruto doesn't really have anything for the village. And we can't just lose Naruto. He is a prince, basically, but the village doesn't treat him like one. He is basically should be like Sasuke, but even more. He is a Senju, and Senjus are basically royalty. And Hiruzen also said, and he is related to 3 Hokages. That even makes it better for his case. And so Kakashi nods. And so now, after the thing, Kakashi calls his team. And so Kakashi decides to skip the bell test, thinking Hiruzen just says, train him right away. You only have like 6 months. And Kakashi nods, and Hiruzen says, for the first month, you can train your team. Then you guys will do D ranks. Once you reach 20 D ranks, you'll go to A ranks. No, not A ranks, C ranks. Then after C ranks, B ranks. And then by that time, it'll probably be the time for the Chunin Exams. And your team will probably be dismissed by then. And Kakashi nods. And so Naruto, for the years, has been training on his water jutsu, shadow clones, and flying Rasen. And he actually got it. He got flying Rasen and the Rasengan, and he became a level 12, and so he is a seal master. But Jiraiya has to prove that he is. But Naruto has gravity seals, and Naruto is a level 10 gravity seal. And you're like, how much is a level 10 gravity seal? So Naruto started this training by Kakashi when he was 4, and so he moved on to level 10, and so he's about as fast as Rock Lee in the Chunin Exams. And so Naruto says okay, and so Kakashi puts gravity seals on everybody and says, we're gonna run 2 laps around the whole village. And then Sakura widens her eyes, and then Kakashi said, then we'll practice chakra control. And then Kakashi says, and then me and Naruto here will play some shogi. And Kakashi says, it's not unfair. Naruto has already practiced chakra control. And so Sasuke scoffs at Naruto, and Naruto shrugs, thinking, Uchiha. He got what the second Hokage's ideals were on the Uchiha, and he was actually glad that the Uchiha got killed. And Naruto won't be discriminating against Uchiha, but he won't like them, you know? And so he won't be scared to kill Sasuke. He will kill. If Sasuke threatens the village, he will kill him in an instant. And so Naruto and them run it, and Sakura's calling Kakashi a murderer. And so Kakashi just shrugs, and Kakashi's running with him. And Naruto's passing Kakashi because Naruto has higher stamina and stuff. And Sasuke is like, how is he running faster than us? He's the dead last. And Sakura yells, stop trying to look cool, Naruto. And Naruto just shrugs at them, saying, well, whatever. And Naruto just keeps on running. And so, now Naruto says, so, what's up? To them when they finish. And And Sakura is panting. Sasuke is panting a little, and Naruto is just not panting at all. He's used to this, and so, well, now, um, Naruto is able to go on, and so then Naruto plays shogi, and so they end it for that day, and so after 1 month of this training, Naruto is becomes really stronger, and so he goes to a level 12 of of gravity seals, and he has started to invent more inventions. And so then he recently hears about his stuff, and so he asks Naruto, do you want to lead do you want to make a ninja shop, and it can be named after a code name? And Naruto says, oh, can it be the Red Phoenix? And Hirusa says, oh, sure. And so then Naruto makes his business, and it's basically Sinbon shooter that's faster than that 2 times faster than Suzune's, aerial attacks, it's a launcher, and it shoots jutsu at the person. You just have to put in your chakra nature and think what you want, and it shoots at a person, and it shoots 2 times more at that person. And he's created way more stuff, like the paper bombs, that's 2 times more of an explosion. And so, well, now Naruto says, well, what now, Kakashi? And Kakashi says, since I'm at tip-top shape now, and Kakashi is at tip-top shape because he, wasn't really training when he just became a Jonin for them. And so he got worse, kind of. But now he is his Anbu level. And so Kakashi says, well, I'm going to get my jutsu and stuff up, so guess we'll be training jutsu and doing some D rank. And so after a month of D rank missions, Kakashi has added more power to the Raikiri. So you see, he when he stabs a tree, he adds the fire chakra to it, and so it explodes inside the person's body, killing all their organs and stuff. And so then Kakashi is making more lightning jutsu, like Raikiri, lightning current. So he slams his Raikiri into the ground, and it just makes the whole place, electricity, and he even added the water to it. So he says water style, water dragon jutsu. And then when that both clashes, he can say Raikiri, lightning current, and it'll fry the person. And so he's just getting better at those kind of stuff. But Sasuke and Sakura have been also getting really better. Sakura has gotten her endurance up really well. And so after these 2 months of training, she goes to tell her mom this. And her mom says, what is Kakashi doing? He's trying to kill you. And then she says, he even tried to tell me to stop my diet, Mom. And Sakura's mom says, this is unacceptable. Do not listen to him. And Sakura says, okay, Mom. And she says, and you will get your diet. Nothing less. And then next day when she did that, Sakura just died. And Sakura blamed her mother. And she says, Mom, I didn't have the right food, so I didn't do good today. And Sakura's mom said, well, you shouldn't work that much as a guinea, Sakura. This is unacceptable. You should just... And so Sakura's mom says, I'll talk to the council about this. And when Hiruzen hears about this, he says, Get out of my face." And so then Sakura's mom leaves. And so now, after that month, they finally do well C ranks. And so when they do the C ranks, uh, Naruto is easily packing his stuff, and so then they leave. So finally they get the Tazuna mission. Yes, the Tazuna mission. And so when they do get this mission, Naruto, when he senses the Demon Brothers, he gets ready, and so when they pop out, Naruto throws Flying Raji at both of them, and then he teleports, and then makes his hand go through both of their chests, and then he asks, "So who is you guys' leader?" And they say, "Sabiza Mamochi." And then he says, "And who hired you guys?" "I can." And then he pumps chakra into their body to make them live longer. And they said, "Gato." And he's trying to take over the land of waves, and is paying us a lot for this. And Naruto says, "Oh, thank you," and then ends his jutsu, killing them. And Naruto says, "They're trying to kill Tazuna, so are we gonna keep on going?" "I feel like keep on going." And so Kakashi nods, saying, "Yeah, let's keep on going." And so, because Kakashi is like S rank now, yeah, he would be S rank now. And so when Kakashi is facing Zabuza, he is actually about to kill him, but then Haku tries to shoot Senbon at him, but then Naruto intercepts and says, "Water style, twin water dragon jutsu at Haku," and then Haku did like a ice mirrors, which cracked it, and she got hit, yep, it's a she, I don't care. And so then when Haku got hit, Naruto appeared behind her and sealed her in the scroll, and then they killed Zabuza. But something they don't know, they'll be facing 3 Iowa Ninja from the... Yes, these Iowa Ninja will be S class, and so and before Zabuza died, he says 3 Iowa Ninja S rank will be coming for you, and they hate the yellow flash. And so then they widen their eyes. And so, yeah. And so Naruto gets serious and says, "We have to train Kakashi." And Kakashi nods, saying, Tazuna, we're going to have to keep you like in your house, and Naruto will seal away, and so nobody will be able to get in." And so Naruto does all that, and so then he tells Kakashi, "We're gonna have to take out people. There's about 1,000 ninja in his bases, so we gotta go." And so then Kakashi and Naruto go to kill everybody. It's a massacre. None of them even had a chance. And after that, Naruto's kind of scarred, but then Kakashi tells what his sensei told him. Killing is a part of a ninja life. As long as you feel something, you're not a horrible person. And so when Kakashi told Naruto, Naruto smiled. And so then Naruto gets ready for the fight. And so Kakashi says, "How do you suppose we fight them with this?" And Naruto says, I can take out one, and I can help you with the 2S rank." And Kakashi nods, saying, "Okay, we'll fight them in a week." And so, let's go. And so when they go to the bridge, they see them. They see the 3 Iowa Shinobi, and then all the Iowa Shinobi see Naruto and think Yellow Flash. And then one of them says, "It's Minato's student Kakashi Hatake." And so then Naruto says, "Alright, says, I got the person, and then two people are ganging up on Kakashi, but Kakashi is holding his own since he had training. And so Naruto says, sorry, but I need to end this quick to get to my sensei. And the guy says, you're funny, kid. I'm gonna kill you. And Naruto says, so you're mad at me? And he says, yeah, you look like the yellow flash. And so then Naruto says, oh, I'll show you a yellow flash. And throws his three-pronged kunai. And this guy widened his eyes. And then Naruto stabs his Rasengan through his chest with extra force. And so he says, guess what? He asks, what? I'm the son of the yellow flash. And then kills him. And then what he says last is, Namikaze. And so then Naruto decides to go to help Kakashi. And so Naruto is helping. And so he's using his flying Rajin to cut people. And then he stabs one through the chest. And so then the girl says, you're the yellow flash's son in Kakashi Hatake. And so then she tried to get a good go at saying, out to the Tsuchikage. But then but then Kakashi goes full speed. Now he can go full speed, runs at the person, and then stabs her through the chest. And so then they die on the bridge. And so Kakashi asks Naruto, my Sharingan depletes a lot. Is there a way that you can make a seal for it? Or something? And Naruto says, let me think about this. And so then Naruto took out a scroll and started writing, something that can make you turn off a Sharingan eye and give you more chakra from it, like a true Uchiha. Then he starts scribbling, and then he says, oh, got it. And Naruto says, Kakashi, can you give me a week? And Kakashi says, oh, sure. And so then Naruto gets it and says, oh, here you go. You just have to put it on your right arm. And Kakashi says, like, actually? And Naruto nods. And so then Kakashi does the seal. And so then Kakashi opens his eye. And then he can close it. He can close his Sharingan. Kakashi hugs Naruto saying, thank you. You're really Sensei's son. And Naruto says, oh, no problem. And so Kakashi can use his Sharingan like a Uchiha can, basically. And so now they finish the bridge, and it gets called the Great Naruto Bridge. And Naruto goes back to the Leaf. And so they have about 4 months left. And so after the 4th month, Naruto gets a mission with Kakashi to retrieve AOI, a traitor, and he reasons says, and you can train with this sword to the Chunin Exams, because that's when I'll announce your heritage. So you better be strong, Naruto. And Naruto says, oh, of course, oh man. And so then they go to find AOI, and AOI says, you're not going to beat me. I have the Thunder Sword of the second Hokage. And Naruto says, give me my grandpa's sword. And AOI says, wait, you're the grandson of the second Hokage? And Naruto says, yes, I am. And you will give me his sword. And so he says, oh, I'm not going to give you his sword. And so then Naruto appears behind AOI and stabs him in the chest. And AOI calls him up. Why? And Naruto says, you stole my grandpa's sword. And so you shall face what has gotten onto you. And so then he dies. And Naruto says, good. And so, now, Naruto says, so what now? And he says, well, we'll collect his bounty and we'll leave. And so, yeah. And so, well, now Naruto says, perfect. And I'm a forge into a sword of my liking. And Kakashi nods. And so Naruto still keeps the lightning and the yellow part of it, but it'll be stronger, basically. And so, well, now Naruto forges the sword into a better looking one, and well, he is practicing with it, practicing the lightning with it and stuff. And Naruto is also getting really stronger, and so Naruto could even be said to be low cage level now. And so Jiraiya appears on the 5th month, and Jiraiya says, "Hey Naruto," and Naruto says, "Yeah," and he says, "Let me train you in your what is it called? Freaking Seal Master, or yeah." And so then Naruto shows him stuff, and Jiraiya says, "Amazing." And Jiraiya says, "Do you have your clan summoning jutsu?" And Naruto says, "Of course, I have the Phoenix summoning." And Jiraiya asks, "Do you want to get the Toad summoning?" Toads are for more offensive, Phoenixes are for scouting and fast and quick attacks. And Naruto says, "Oh, of course." And so he gets it, and they allow it. And so now he says bye. And then so Jiraiya says bye. "See you in the Chunin Exams." And so Naruto nods. And so 2 months later, Kakashi has gotten really stronger. He is about mid-cage level, because Kakashi was Kage level without his Sharingan, but now he can turn off his Sharingan, and now he has gotten purple lightning too, as offensive lightning attacks too, and so he's really strong because he had gotten the time to train and stuff. And yeah, and he got orders to train hard, and so when he gets orders to train hard, he will. And so, well, now it's the Chunin Exams. This will be good. And so Kakashi told him, "Naruto, I'm gonna have to tell your teammates, because people will be out for you in the Chunin Exams, because after the 2nd round, you guys it will get announced." And he asked Naruto, "What do you want your name to be?" Naruto says, "Can it be Naruto Senju Namikaze?" And Kakashi smiles, says, "Of course, Naruto." And Sasuke always wondered why Naruto was always able to keep up with people's speed. It's amazing to him. And Kakashi thinks, "Naruto, you haven't even showed people your true strength yet." And so Kakashi gets ready. And so Kakashi gets announced by the Jonin that day, of saying that they are in the Chunin Exams. And Iruka says, "Wait, Naruto's not ready." And Kakashi says, "You don't." And so then he says, "It's okay." And so then Hiruzen says, "Iruka, this is a SS class secret that only the Jonin know, but they don't know the whole story about Minato." And they ask, "Yeah, what's about him?" "His heritage. He is the son. Minato was the son of the 2nd Hokage." And everybody gasped, murmuring, and the Jonin widened their eyes. "Naruto is the grandson of the 2nd Hokage and is the son of Minato Namikaze. He is royalty." And so then they all ask, "Yeah, what's it about Naruto?" All the Chunin do. And so Iruka does. And then Hiruzen says, "Okay, Iruka, Naruto is the son of the Yellow Flash. and is the grandson of Tobirama, Senju. And so then everybody widens their eyes, saying, this is what? And so then he says, so what's it about Naruto's power? Yeah, he's related to somebody, but you still have to work hard. And why did he show out in the academy? And he just says he was playing a disguise because the council was out for him. And they all nod, saying it's true. And so then he reasons says, so yeah, that's why. And so they say, so why would Naruto fake it though? He could have been student of the year and stuff. And he said Naruto wanted the precious Uchiha to win it, so they don't think he cheated. And they all nodded. And so he reasons says, so yeah, so it's a S++ class secret, and Naruto's about high Jonin level. He hid his power. And they all widen their eyes. And Kakashi says, yes, this is true. I will have him release his gravity seals, and he'll be about 100 times faster now. And my guy widens his eyes, saying, What level was he, Kakashi? And Kakashi smiles, saying, level 20. No, not level 20, level 12. And my guy widens his eyes, saying, now that's the power of youth. And he reasons, and everybody shakes their head. And so my guy thinks he might not be able to. Lee might not even be able to beat him using his gates. And so now Naruto goes to the Chunin Exams, and so when he walks in, everybody's staring at him. People have heard of his sword, and then people looks at the sword on his back, thinks, isn't that the sword of the second Hokage? And they just shrug and say, whatever. And so now Naruto goes to, leave, basically. So, what's his name? Kabuto walks in, and Naruto looks suspiciously at him because he still has his, attitude. And so he's suspicious, and so he makes a summoning jutsu and has a phoenix trail him. But then he says, want to know about the people and stuff, about people in here. And Sasuke says, yes, I want to know about Naruto, Uzumaki, Rock Lee, and Gara of the Sand. And Kabuto says, oh, you know about them? No fun. And so Kabuto just has that Naruto's the dead last. And Kakashi, and so then Sasuke says, that's not true. All what you said is lies. He's, and then Kabuto thinks, and says, oh, let me recorrect it. And so then Kabuto actually gets it, and then says, so is this it? And so Sasuke nods, saying, yes, that's his power. And so then people widen their eyes to see 20 C ranks, 50 D ranks, and 10 B ranks. And Naruto has never went to the hospital after this. They think amazing. And so it goes to Gaara. And then, time for the first round. And Naruto will get a few people out. See, when that happened, Naruto was getting teams out by having his phoenix trail people's papers and then making people shout and stuff. And so the phoenix is just messing people up. And Naruto smiles. And so then there's about 24 people left. And so and so they go with Anko, and they go into the forest of death. And Naruto gives Sasuke his flying Rajin and places the marker on Sakura, and he says, "Go, go straight to the tower." And summoning a phoenix, the size like a large phoenix, and so he tells the phoenix to take them to the tower in the middle of here, and the phoenix nods, picking them up and go to the tower, and he says, "I'll be there quick." And so then Naruto um places his hand on the ground, sensing people. And so then he summons a little phoenix to find people, and he says that there's two teams fighting north, and there's a team fighting east. And so Naruto tells the phoenix to take this and drop it over their head, and so they do. And when the phoenix drops it, Naruto senses it, and Naruto thinks, perfect, dynamic entry. And so then he drops down in the middle of it, and they all get surprised. And Naruto had out his Thunderblade sword and says, get ready for a shock. And so then Naruto does the shocking of the Thunderblade and then takes their scrolls. This team had two Earth Scrolls and two Heaven Scrolls, and Naruto thinks, "Oh, perfect, just for me." And so then Orochimaru's like, "Where is Sasuke at? Stupid Leaf has upped their security." And so Jiraiya told Hiruzen, and so Hiruzen had Naruto and Jiraiya make perimeters on things, and so Orochimaru had to make his presence a getting worth, or the whole Anbu would get alerted, because nobody besides Naruto will have any cage chakra. And so yeah, and Gaara, of course. And so they knew the Jinchuriki, and they thought anybody besides them, and we're going to give them 2 slips. And so yeah, so Orochimaru couldn't get through, so he had to mask his chakra, and so now he has to mask his chakra even more, and he can't find Sasuke, so he can't use his chakra to speed up his quickness, and so it's very hard for Orochimaru to find him. And Sasuke is literally in the sky, and Orochimaru doesn't know it because they're like high up, like nobody can see him, but then the thing will dive down when they get close, of course. And so Naruto sees 2 teams looking at him, and it was 2 Iowa teams, and they said, "You'll pay. You killed my brother." And Naruto says, "Oh, who's your brother?" And he says, It's an S rank ninja, and I heard that you killed him. A person with yellow hair with whisker marks, and so you'll pay." And Naruto says, "Oh." And he says, "So guess I'll be the next Yellow Flash." And so takes out three prong kunai and kills all of them. And they widen their eyes, and "You know the Yellow Flash's jutsu?" And they all die. And so Naruto just shrugs, and they had 2 Earth Scrolls, 3 Heaven Scrolls, and yeah. And so Naruto, I smiles, thinking, cool. So we just took out tons of competition, and Naruto decided to take it all to the tower. And so it shows So Naruto opens all these scrolls up from heaven, and so it was like 6 pairs, and so he opens them all. So then just like 3 Jonins just pop out, and Naruto says, "Hi, I just opened them all for fun." And they think, "Why'd you take so many scrolls? That's like half of the comp." But and Naruto says, "I did it on purpose for that reason." And they just shrug at Naruto, thinking, don't matter to me. And so they have to do a preliminaries. And so it's Naruto versus I want to say Naruto versus he needs something. Garu would be too easy because well, not really too easy, but I can't have Garu transform yet, so I need somebody else. Naruto will face. Actually, there won't be a preliminaries. Naruto took out a lot of the competition, so it'll just be the beginning teams, and so yeah, and so it'll be Sakura versus Ino, Tamari versus freaking you'll be Tenten, Tamari, and Shikamaru in like a 3-way, and some other stuff. And Naruto will face Rock Lee. Yeah, Naruto will face Rock Lee, and my guy will train Rock Lee to the extent that he can, but it won't be enough. And so Naruto gets a message from Jiraiya, and Naruto goes. And so Jiraiya says, Naruto, I want you to get better at using your sword and your taijutsu. And Jiraiya says, your father learned some of like the first 3 gates, and they didn't do much, and it'll really help. And Naruto learns those 3, and Jiraiya says, plus you'll be able to adapt to his speed, and you'll be even faster. And Naruto nods, and Jiraiya says, and take off your weights. I know you lied to Kakashi. You only took off 1. And Naruto gets sad and says, fine, okay. And so he says, seals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Unseal. And so then Jiraiya gets pushed back and saying, such power. And so then Naruto runs around, and Naruto's basically body flickering, it looks like. And Jiraiya thinks, such power. And so then Jiraiya thinks, Naruto, you're very strong. And Naruto says, oh, yeah? And Naruto says, so what now? And Jiraiya says, well, we're going to train more on your ninjutsu, I guess. And Jiraiya says, let's get your flying Rajin so you're able to use like what your dad was able to do, like flying Rajin level 2, and let's get your sword ability. And so well, he does that. And so when he does do that, he gets it. And so, well, now, it's the Chunin Exams, and Naruto and Rock Lee are the first matches. And Rock Lee says, are you ready? And my guy had Rock Lee take off his weights, and Naruto said, and Jiraiya told Naruto to take off his weights again. And Naruto gets sad but says, okay. And so Naruto takes them all off, because Naruto likes wearing his weights. It makes it more of a competition to him. And so he does it, and then people are amazed at his power. And so Naruto is bodying Rock Lee in a taijutsu match right now. And my guy tells Rock Lee to go to his 6th gate. Yeah, 6th gate. And so Rock Lee doesn't. But then Naruto appears next to Rock Lee and then kicks him in the face. And then Naruto goes to his 3rd gate, and my guy knows it's over. And so when Naruto is about, so then Rock Lee is putting all his power into one punch, and Naruto is trying something. And Jiraiya told Naruto, if you have really strong chakra, you can make your chakra visible. And Naruto nodded, and so he makes his chakra visible into a tiger, and runs at Rock Lee with his fist, and throws a kunai, and then it disappears. Then Naruto reappears with a tiger punch to the stomach, and Rock Lee cuts a blood. It almost it breaks a rib, but then Naruto stops the punch, and so Rock Lee passes out. And my guy says, "Thank you for stopping Naruto." Naruto says, "No problem. I wouldn't hurt a comrade." And so, my guy leaves, and with Rock Lee, and Naruto wins. And so, Hiruzen tells the crowd, Naruto Senju Namikaze won. And they're like, and crosses Senju Namikaze asking Naruto, is he okay? And Naruto says, yes, Naruto is the son of Minato Namikaze and the grandson of Tobirama. And they all widen their eyes saying, amazing. And so they're getting tons of publicity and tons of new clients now. Like, tons of new clients. Like, people from other lands are gonna come to the Leaf now. And so, now, it's the Leaf attack. And so, Naruto faces Gaara the last match because Gaara faced like Shino and Shino gave up. And so it's Naruto versus Gaara. And so Lord Third told Naruto and Kakashi got inaugurated. So Kakashi is in the middle of Orochimaru and Hiruzen. And so he got told by Kakashi to seal Gaara's Pichu. And so Naruto is in a taijutsu fight beating Gaara up bad. And so then Gaara went to a cocoon, and so Naruto threw a flying Raijin into it, and so then the sand absorbed it, and Naruto smiled, then teleported inside of it. And so then he said, 5 elements seal. And so then Gaara gets sealed and gets knocked out. And everybody Orochimaru's angry. And so he starts the attack. And literally, Baki appears around Naruto. And Naruto sees Orochimaru and them. And so he goes to get him. And so, now, Naruto sees Tobirama, and he says, Grandpa. And Tobirama smiles at Naruto, saying, hi, Naruto. You look like Minato so much. And Naruto's saying, and that's great uncle? Or Uncle Gigi? What do I call him? And he says, just call him Uncle Gigi or something, Naruto. And Naruto sheds a tear looking at Orochimaru with anger. And said, you shouldn't play with dead people's lives. And Hashirama smiles at Naruto, saying, you're so much like Tobirama. And so Tobirama glares at Hashirama, and so they go to fighting after getting controlled. And so Naruto gets angry. So he is fighting Tobirama, and Kakashi is fighting Hashirama, and Hiruzen's fighting Orochimaru. And so they're beating on Orochimaru bad. Like beating on Orochimaru. And so then he punched Orochimaru in the face. And so, now Jiraiya was also in the village. So Jiraiya was there like right away. And so he's helping out the village, and he thinks Naruto is good enough. And so Naruto is fighting Tobirama really good. And so every time Tobirama is doing like water jutsu and all that, Naruto's countering. And so Naruto does a 5-element seal on him. And so Tobirama leaves and said, good job, Naruto. I have faith in you. And do good for your old man, smiling. And Naruto sheds a tear, saying, see ya, Grandpa. And so then Hashirama sheds a tear too, and Naruto seals him away too. Then Naruto looks at Orochimaru, and then Naruto tells Hiruzen, I'm gonna give Orochimaru something that he deserves, and he usually says what, and so then Naruto appears in front of Orochimaru, making um making toads just grab Orochimaru, like summoning 5 toads, and he summons some phoenixes that's holding him too, like large ones, and so then Naruto says, "Oh, they won't hold you for long, but it'll be long enough for me to do this to you." Then he placed his hand on Orochimaru's chest, and then he says, "Chakra destroying seal." And so then, this is the Uzumaki seal that they used on prisoners and took away their jutsu. And so then Naruto does this, and so then Orochimaru says, "No, my arms!" And so then Orochimaru can feel his chakra gone. And so then Naruto bangs him against the ground. And all the summonings go to the summoning realm. And then the Sound Four picked Orochimaru up. And so the invasion was really bad. They did nothing, like, because Jiraiya was already there and stuff. And so they did literally a little damage, but that was it. No casualties, no deaths, just some few minor injuries. And everybody was safe. And so, because Jonin and Chunin knew about it, and so they were ready for the Genjutsu. And so they didn't fall, and so safer stuff. And so Naruto wakes up in the hospital, and Hiruzen is alive, and everything's good. And so Naruto gets summoned into the council room, and they said, "Congratulations, Naruto. You have become a Jonin." And Naruto smiles, saying, "Okay, cool." And so then they say, and so then the civilian council yells, "No, the demon can't be a high Jonin." And they said, "You're talking to Naruto, Senju Namikaze." Naruto says, and they said, "And you're now officially the Senju's a leader." And so Naruto looks at the civilian council with a grin. And so they think, and Naruto says, "Well, you have no control over me and my clan. And so, get out my face, and I won't marry your stupid daughters, your weak daughters." And so the civilian council takes offense, saying, "You won't speak to us that way." And Naruto says, "Actually, I can. And so, get out of my face." And Naruto leaves. And so, now, that's the end of the video. See ya.